What's going on, guys? In today's video, we are going to be working on the drift Vette. So last time you guys saw this, I believe was when I did the hydro handbrake install. When we went out and test drove the car, the handbrake worked perfectly, but we developed a pretty gnarly clunking sound. As you can see from that video, it is a bit concerning. So I haven't fully figured out what the problem is, so that's what we're gonna start off with today. I'm gonna jack up the back of the car, put it on some jack stands. We can put the car in gear and actually get the rear wheel spinning. Hopefully that will help us determine exactly what the cause is. I did go ahead and order some new wheel bearings, just because these did feel pretty loose, but I'm not convinced that that's our problem. It could be diff related, it could be, who knows. So that's what we're gonna start with today. Back into the car is off the ground. So there's two things I'm checking here. One of them is wheel bearings. The other one is, I believe they're called tow rods. It's like the little suspension connecting point that goes from the cradle over to the knuckle itself. So to check those, you kind of go side to side. There's a little bit of movement in there for sure. I don't think is ideal. And then up and down is wheel bearing. That's why I ordered wheel bearings. That is really bad. And that's the noise we're hearing. It's like, you can definitely tell it's rotational because it's very consistent based on speed. The faster you go, the faster the clunking is. And that's basically what it sounds like. So for sure we're going to do wheel bearing on this side. I need to look up those, I'm going to call it a tow rod, and see if it's something that's available from like an auto parts store relatively easily. Let me get under here. You guys aren't going to be able to see, but see, I feel like all of that movement is actually in the wheel bearing itself. I don't see any movement in that tow rod. So I think it's just a wheel bearing on this side. Let's check the other side. On this side, actually there's no movement in the wheel bearing at all on this side. So that's how it should be. No clunking, no movement at all. So this does have side to side movement though. Kind of strange. Let's look under here. Interesting. So this movement is in the tow rod, in the little joint at the end. Yeah, and the little boot is torn. So we might have one of each. Might need a tow rod on this side and a wheel bearing on the other side. But those two things combined would definitely cause our problem. So this is the little joint I'm talking about. So it runs up to the cradle, and then this is where you actually make your rear toe adjustments. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but if I move this wheel back and forth, you can see it moving around inside the knuckle there. And then of course our boot is torn and everything. So what I'm going to do now is go over to what I'm going to call my Corvette junkyard, which is all of my spare Corvette parts. I'm going to see if I have another one of these joints that we can throw on and kind of get us down the road. And I'm going to look and see if there's like some high quality kind of aftermarket replacements. This is something with drifting. We're going to want to have good toe adjustment, and we're not going to want any movement in these joints because that's just going to cause us more problems down the road. So I found a set of high quality Heim joint style adjustable rear tie rod ends that I just went ahead and ordered from Summit Racing. They'll be here next week, so we probably won't get to it in this video. But what I am gonna do right now is go ahead and knock out this wheel bearing that we know is bad because I already have the parts for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just rip off the rear knuckle on this driver's side. I can take that off and we can actually work on it back on the bench. It'll be much easier to get the wheel bearing out and stuff with the knuckle out of the car, and it's really not too terribly difficult. I've already shown you guys kind of what's involved in that process when I did the crash repair. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the rear knuckle and then we'll work on it on the bench. Got the knuckle off and over here on the bench. These cars are, you know, knock on wood, incredibly simple to work on. This took me, honest to God's truth, I think 10 minutes to get all the way off. So I went ahead and removed this bracket, which like seems to hold part of the emergency brake. I don't see anything else for me to be able to take off, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for the 3 Torx. These are a T55. From what I've heard, they could be a bit of a bear to get off because they do, I believe, have Loctite from the factory. So I'm going to use my little 3/8 air impact to hopefully get these off. Throw some eyes and ears on real quick. Let's see what she does. Okay. Not bad at all. Well, the internet had me worried about those for no reason. Which is kind of common. I think a lot of guys struggle with some stuff. Maybe if you just don't have the right tool or whatever, it can be a lot more difficult. But boom. Truth be told, I don't even think I needed to undo the bracket for the emergency brake. I just assumed it was going to be in the way. Let's try to keep all that aligned. And here we go. All put back together, I would say honestly 45-ish minutes start to finish. Check this out. Absolutely rock solid. Which is exactly how it should be. Sweet. I'm actually tempted to take it for a test drive around the neighborhood, see if that fixed our problems. I am still obviously going to do those tie rod ends like I mentioned when they come in, but that is so much better than it was. Just got back from a test drive around the neighborhood, and unfortunately we fixed an issue, but we did not fix the issue. It is still very much present, not any % better than it was before, which stinks. I was hoping we'd get away with that. Like I said, it did need to be done either way, so it's not like we wasted time or money, but we didn't fix our problem. So I'm gonna jack the car back up and do what I was going to do originally in the beginning of the video, and that's put it in gear, let everything spin around. We can see maybe it's our diff, I'm not exactly sure. So let's put it back in the air, figure out what's going on. So it's probably gonna be pretty incredibly hard to hear over the exhaust. That sounds pretty rear diff to me, which is less than ideal for sure. I'm gonna dig around online, see if there's a way for me to confirm that before we go through the process of trying to pull it all the way out. On positive news, if it is the diff, I have not one but 2 spare Z06 rear diffs, so it's not gonna be a huge expense. Got one right here, and the other one is out in my parts car, kind of other vehicle over there. So the fact that we have 2 spare Z06 diffs is, you know, nice, but that sounds like a huge pain to try and swap. So let me do a little bit of research and see if I can figure out a way to confirm that. I was doing a bit of research on the Corvette forums, and believe it or not, there is a large amount of people that claim that just a fluid change has fixed a clunking noise from the rear end. Like at least 15 or 20 people, separate people, claimed that they had a kind of knocking, clunking noise from the rear end, did a fluid change, and it went away completely. I'm pretty skeptical of that, but if nothing else, draining that fluid will allow us to inspect it. We can see if there's chunks of something in there, if there's a bunch of metal shavings, anything like that. And then I don't know how old this fluid is anyway, so not a huge risk for 30 bucks of fluid in 5 minutes, so let's give it a shot. A quick note on any fluid change like this, always undo the fill plug first. In the off chance that it is stripped or broken or whatever and you can't get it out, you know, you don't want to drain all the fluid out and then not be able to get new stuff in. So got that loosened. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen the drain. We'll see what this stuff looks like. So here's the drain plug. There is a little bit of metal shavings on there, but I mean, these limited slips have clutches in them, and those clutches are gonna wear a little bit. So as far as I know, that's not like a concerning amount, which I think is good. Let's check out this fluid though. Checking out the fluid, I don't see any big chunks or anything too concerning. I do, you know, see this kind of silver color in here, but according to the forums, it's pretty common for that to be like a certain kind of additive or something like that. There's tons of posts of people that were concerned about the color, and then the people going, mine looked exactly like that, and it's been fine for, you know, 50,000 miles or whatever. So I don't think that's any concern, but we're getting it out anyway, putting in some fresh stuff. I'm gonna knock that out. I haven't actually used these kind of squeeze bottles before, so we'll see how well that goes. And then we'll put this thing back on the ground, take it for a test drive. Time to take it around the block. Who else is ready to be absolutely blown away by the fact that $30 in fluid 100% fixes our problem? I decided to take it for a little bit longer test drive just to allow the fluid to fully heat up in the diff, get into all the clutches, really mix around just in any oddball chance that might work. Unfortunately, as expected, it did not. So my guess right now is we have maybe a chipped or a missing tooth on the ring gear inside the diff, and that's just making that clicking sound every time it passes, you know, in the pinion. That's my only guess. It's still engaging. It still has enough kind of gear engagement to work properly, but it's just making that noise. That's the only thing I could possibly think of, and we definitely need to pull the diff out if that's the case. So if you guys have anything else that you think it might be, or any suggestions or anything, please do let me know. I'm willing to try just about anything. If we do end up having to swap the diff, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I have a few spares already, so it's really not that big of a deal. So I'll probably go ahead and plan on doing that either way, but let me know what you guys think it could be. I think that's gonna be it for this video. Not the greatest news, but we'll figure it out. So I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll see you on the next one.